For months, the Outlander fandom had been holding its breath. Whispers of cancellation, cast departures, and creative fatigue spread like wildfire across social media. Many feared the end had come, that Season 8 would be the final farewell to Jamie and Claire Fraser, the couple who had redefined television romance. But then, out of nowhere, came the headline no one dared to dream of. It's official. Every major outlet carried the news in bold letters: Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe return for Outlander Season 9. Within minutes, the internet exploded. Twitter turned into a celebration. Instagram flooded with fan art. YouTube lit up with reaction videos titled "They're Back." After nearly a decade together, Sam and Caitriona's connection had evolved far beyond acting. It had become history, emotion, legacy. Their return didn't just mean another season, it meant a revival of something deeply human, a story of love, endurance, and time itself. The official star's statement read like poetry to fans' ears: Jamie and Claire's story is far from over. Alongside it was a single photo, the two stars standing side by side, older, wiser, but with the same unmistakable spark in their eyes. The caption beneath read simply, "Home again." Within an hour, hashtags like #Outlander returns and #Jamie and Claire forever were trending worldwide. What made this comeback even more powerful was the storm that came before it. Only months earlier, both actors had hinted at exhaustion. Season 8 had pushed them to their limits, emotionally, physically, spiritually. The endless travel, the heavy scripts, the pressure of carrying one of television's most cherished sagas, it all took its toll. Caitriona had spoken about wanting to focus on directing and family, while Sam, with his whiskey brand, memoir, and charity projects, seemed ready to move on. That's why this news hit differently. It wasn't just a return, it was redemption. "I honestly thought it was goodbye," one fan wrote. "But seeing them together again feels like getting a piece of our hearts back." Behind the scenes, negotiations had been quietly underway for months. Creative discussions circled around how to honor the source material, satisfy longtime fans, and still give the story new emotional depth. The producers promised that Season 9 would be the most intimate, most powerful chapter yet. When the first teaser dropped, just 15 seconds long, it shattered online records. A haunting shot of the Scottish Highlands rolled into view, mist curling around the hills. Then Caitriona's voice whispered, "After all we've endured, can love truly survive time itself?" Sam's voice followed, "We'll find out, together." 2 lines. That was all it took to bring millions of fans to tears. Because for them, Outlander had never just been a show. It was a refuge, a journey through love, loss, history, and healing. It had connected generations, young fans discovering it on streaming platforms, and lifelong readers who had followed Diana Gabaldon's words for decades. Seeing Sam and Caitriona return wasn't about nostalgia. It was about trust, the bond between storytellers and those who believe in their story. Sam posted a heartfelt message: "You've waited so patiently. We've missed you too. Season 9 is coming, and it's something truly special." Caitriona echoed his words hours later, posting a behind-the-scenes photo with the caption, "Every journey leads us home. Thank you for waiting for us." Within minutes, her post surpassed 1 million likes. Still, one question lingered: what changed their minds? What made 2 actors, seemingly ready to move on, choose to return for one more chapter? The truth, as insiders revealed, was far more emotional than anyone expected. For years, Outlander had been more than work, it was the defining story of their lives. But after a decade of filming, both Sam and Caitriona had quietly reached a crossroads. The long hours, the emotional weight of portraying Jamie and Claire's endless struggles, and the relentless public scrutiny had left them drained. "We've lived with these characters longer than some people have been married," Caitriona once joked. Behind the humor, there was truth. Playing Claire Fraser, strong, vulnerable, timeless, had changed her. And Sam, forever etched in fans' minds as Jamie, carried the role like both a badge of honor and a burden. By the end of Season 8, both were ready to rest. Sam pursued his business ventures and independent films, Caitriona turned to directing and producing. Quiet goodbyes were said on set. Crew members spoke of the end of an era. Fans mourned what they thought was the final curtain. But in the stillness that followed, something unexpected happened. Both began to feel a strange emptiness, as if a part of them was missing. It was odd, Sam later admitted. For years, I'd wake up thinking about who Jamie was, how he'd love, how he'd fight. When that stopped, it felt like silence I didn't know how to fill. Then came the call that changed everything. Caitriona, on location for another project, received a pitch from the Outlander showrunner. Season 9 wouldn't just continue the story, it would complete it. It would focus not on spectacle, but on emotion, aging, legacy, and a love surviving the passage of time. It won't be about how long they've lived, the producer said. It'll be about how deeply they've loved. Those words stayed with her. It wasn't about doing another season. It was about giving Jamie and Claire the ending they deserved. She called Sam immediately. Their conversation lasted hours, filled with memories, laughter, and the quiet understanding of two people who had lived an entire lifetime in someone else's love story. You don't realize how much a story becomes part of you, Sam said, until you think about letting it go forever. By the end of that call, their decision was clear. They weren't ready to say goodbye. Not yet. Within weeks, contracts were signed. When the two walked into the studio for the first table read, the crew stood and applauded. It felt like watching family come home, one producer said. The new scripts delved deep into Jamie and Claire's hearts, exploring aging, forgiveness, and the endurance of love beyond time. Caitriona called it raw and poetic. Sam said it was the most powerful storytelling we've ever done. Their return wasn't just professional. It was deeply personal, a reconnection with the story that had shaped them both. Outlander was never about time travel, Sam reflected. It's about love. Love of home, love of self, love that survives everything. The behind-the-scenes photos radiated joy, the quiet kind that comes when you know you're exactly where you're meant to be. When asked what fans could expect, Caitriona smiled and said one word: closure. Not a goodbye, but gratitude. And maybe that's why this return struck such a chord. It wasn't just about bringing back television's most beloved couple. It was about two artists honoring a story that defined them, and giving millions one last chance to believe that love can truly conquer time. As cameras rolled again in the misty highlands, Sam posted a message: full circle. Thank you for still believing in us. Caitriona followed: we're not done yet. No, they weren't. Because for Outlander, Season 9 isn't just a continuation. It's a promise that no matter how many years pass, Jamie and Claire, and the love they represent, will always find their way back. And yet, as the world celebrates their return, a quiet question lingers, one that even time itself can't quite answer. When a story becomes a part of who you are, can you ever truly let it go? Rumors have already begun to swirl, whispers of a possible spin-off, a final film, or perhaps something entirely new that neither Sam nor Caitriona are ready to reveal. Some say this season will bring a conclusion so beautiful it feels like a beginning. Others believe Outlander will never really end, it will simply change form, just as love and time always do. What's certain is that the magic remains, that rare, unspoken connection between two souls, two characters, and millions of hearts watching from around the world. And as the mist rolls once more over the Scottish Highlands, one can almost hear Claire's voice echo softly through the wind. Some stories never end, they just find new ways to begin again.